Hello everyone and welcome to another video. My name is Mitesh
And I'm Chris.
and welcome to our post-race podcast. So let's first get into the biggest incident that has happened. I think in many years I've never seen this incident. That is Grosjean. First of all, that was something. The balls were of titanium for sure, and Grosjean to be able to survive, to be able to walk out of that incident, to be able to just I really felt for him, because while he jumped out of that fence, out of that car, and then he was going inside the ambulance, he was in pain, genuine pain.
And if anyone ever wants an example of a guardian angel, I think there is a prime example of a guardian angel. And going back on what you said there with him, still being agile, still being able to run through, we've got to of course remember that the adrenaline is going through him.
Yeah.
Not just because it's 3 laps of racing and he's in the heat of the action.
Yeah.
Jumping out of that car, your adrenaline is going nuts, and that's what got him out of it. So what else is good news is that Romain Grosjean is still with us, of course. So that's always the best news out of motorsports.
Yeah. I think how much ever fun we make about him, I have personally done that, I'll admit. But it really takes something for them to drive those cars, now that you realize that so much is at stake when they are driving. And thanks to also the advanced technologies that we have these days, the materials and all of that, that actually saved his life, and the marshals.
Exactly, and it's so obviously huge credit to the marshals as well. They did a very good job of essentially helping Grosjean out of the car, ensuring that he's safe. So huge shout out to the marshals at the Kia racetrack. You did a fantastic job. And what's really scary about that accident is when you just showed me before we started this, is the imagery. And I watched the replay that you sent me. I watched the replay on Sky News. I watched the replay on various news channels, on Reddit, wherever. I never saw the aftermath pictures, and seeing that is absolutely incredible how Romain Grosjean got out of that. Yeah. The car is literally, if you haven't seen it, go find it. I think we'll probably put an instead of it up anyway.
There'll be photos in this particular video I'll be putting, or probably you are seeing that now. So
the car is literally cut in half, and it's cut in half essentially where his legs are. Literally, if the barrier probably hit at a different part, maybe even slightly higher, he may have lost his legs.
Yeah, and down torso.
As I said before, if you're looking for the definition of guardian angel, that is it right there. That was an immense act of something. I don't know what to say.
To be honest, it really gave me the 94 Senna sort of, vibes, I mean, no one ever wants to see that horrific scene that had happened, but this actually happened, and the whole car went into like flames. And the first reaction, I think every team, every member in the paddock was for Grosjean after that, like for what and straight out, Grosjean is the driver of the day, even though he didn't drive, but it is like without saying that. And still, for a driver to be able to just think immediately after the crash that he has to come out within 20 seconds, and he was on flames when he came out. But anyways, we are through that, and we are glad that he's all right and he is alive. That's the best thing. So let's continue with the race now. But yeah, the race didn't offer much, to be honest.
It seems that way. It seems there were a few key highlights. For example, we had a very long red flag period. It lasted 3 hours. Yeah. Obviously, the red flag period was there to ensure the safety of the barrier, so the races are fine after that. Yeah. So we have to understand that. But 3 hours, maybe a bit too much. I know I tuned in and out, and it seems to be my internet tuned in and out as well, because I lost connection a dozen times. So I just gave up watching, because I was just like, you know what, I'll just listen to it on the news. That's about it. Yeah,
and pretty much I was WhatsApping what was going on.
Exactly.
So,
see, and
so 3 hours, I think that was the longest race that we've had since a long time. Even during the wet races, we haven't had so long race. But Bottas, let's start with him, because he lost quite a fair few places at the start, while Max obviously gained. That's a given thing now. And Hamilton, as usual, had a flyer start. So yeah, Bottas again was just unfortunate to be caught out because of the debris on the track, and he had a puncture later on that was suspected. But then poor guy is always on the wrong side of the luck.
It seems to be a season to forget, actually, for Valtteri Bottas. Not only is it the year to forget completely for all of us, it's a season forget for Bottas for his F1 career.
How does he end up always on the wrong side is just beyond me. Like I cannot make sense of why. So next we move on to the Red Bull. Again, Max, phenomenal performance. He drives the wheels out of that car.
But Albon Albon third.
But that is because Perez had an engine failure. That was on lap 54.
But that doesn't matter. Albon was still on the podium. We've seen it once before. We thought we'd never see it again in 2020. With 3 races to go, Albon is back on the podium.
And that actually will give him a very good confidence now.
It will. And it will give Red Bull
hope.
Maybe the mindset to think, we're not going to relegate him just yet because he still has it in him. Granted, we still have 2 races left. We've got Sakir round 2 and then Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
But this gives, like you said, it gives Albon some confidence as well. And
yes.
Red Bull now will be looking at him going, right, we can't just dismiss him like we've done previously. There
is potential, and maybe and considering, because Albon had a nasty crash in FP2 where he literally destroyed the chassis also of the car, so they had to get a new car, they had to build the car again all over, and from there to P3 is again commendable. So so that is with Red Bulls. And the next we go to Racing Point. Perez, unfortunate,
and Stroll as well.
Stroll,
flipped over.
So I sent you that WhatsApp, right?
Yeah.
Stroll
so that was
went
quite
on a roll,
shocking. So we had the lap 3 incident where Grosjean hit the wall, or better yet, it looks, if you watch the replay of it, he essentially clips the front end of Daniel Kvyat.
Yes.
It looks to be like a racing incident. It didn't look like anything. No one did it maliciously, so it's no one should be penalised or anything like that.
There's an interesting thing. Sorry, but on Sky Sports they were actually showing a replay where there was some debris which was flying towards Grosjean. There was a piece of someone's car, so that was going to hit his tire, and Grosjean actually tried to miss that piece, which is why if you saw the replays, he was swerving directly to the right for no reason, obvious reason. And when they saw the footage later on in a slow motion, they saw a piece of debris. And again, that is what these drivers are. They are spotting every single thing on the track while going so fast. So we never know, or probably Grosjean will be able to tell us what exactly
complete
went wrong.
Racing, this is there. So we had that, and then a few laps later,
again, Kvyat,
Stroll went
on his head. So, and did you see how he came out of the car? He actually crawled out his way from that car before even the marshals reached, because I don't know, he just unbelted himself, and then he was too scared seeing that incident before him.
I could imagine. So, I wouldn't, if I was him, I wouldn't want to be stuck upside down for, you don't really know how long you're going to be there.
The last we saw was Nico Hülkenberg.
You've also got, you're upside down, you've got a lot of blood rushing towards your head. That's definitely uncomfortable, even for these guys that are insanely fit.
Yeah.
He's probably thinking, I want to get out of here before I go, before the ground meets my head and goes.
Yeah. And plus, you don't know what is with the car behind. So, you're on the track also. If someone is going to hit you straight, and he was actually on track. So, but actually Racing Point lost a big race this weekend because they were in contention for the 3rd position for the Constructors' Championship, and McLaren clinched that because Lando Norris finished 4th and Sainz 5th.
Just before we go into the next team, have you seen Racing Point's potential livery for next year?
No, I haven't.
It's very Aston Martin heavy, I'll give you that.
Okay.
So we'll have to find an insert for this, and it's on screen right now.
Okay.
This, I don't know how true this one will be, but I really like it. The black, the green looks amazing.
Oof.
Okay, I'm going to miss the BWT pink.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big fan of the color pink. But what it looks like towards the tail end of the car, you can still see BWT, and there's obviously some pink
elements
on there.
Of.
But because obviously Daddy Stroll owns, or is at least CEO of Aston Martin, he owns a stake in Aston Martin, maybe not he's CEO. So obviously Aston Martin will be heavily branded on the car.
Yes.
And they're bringing black and green back onto the grid. It's not British racing green.
It's the dark.
It's a really vibrant green, like
oh wow,
not even the green that we see over there. I'm pointing off screen, like you guys can't see it, but it's not even like that. Looks like Shrek green, to be honest.
Right.
It looks more vibrant than that, which is very, very interesting. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think Racing Point should go through with this livery, or should they go back to the BWT pink and mix some Aston Martin in there too?
Interesting. Yep. Please let us know in the comments. So let's move to the next team. Which one would you want to pick?
I think Ferrari, because again,
that was going on in my mind.
Dismal race for Ferrari. Ferrari they need to forget about 2020. They need to focus on 2021. Leclerc dropping from 7th to 10th, and then Vettel complaining throughout the race, going, "Look, my car's undrivable. Get me out of here. I want to be in the Racing Point now."
And the thing was, after the race restart, when they happened in the third lap after the red flag, Leclerc passed Vettel, and then he was really, really angry about that. Like, he got pissed off about why that move was done, because he was obviously trying to defend someone on his left side while Leclerc went on his right side deep, and then he just overtook him. And then that's what he was complaining on the team, like, the whole Austria vibes where they were fighting and, weren't giving space to each other. But yeah, it's just like, just 2 more races to go, and after that we are not going to be seeing Seb in the red color.
Which is a shame, because you got 2 races left.
Yeah.
This should be your last hurrah, especially in Ferrari, and you've got to remember Vettel essentially won the championship in Abu Dhabi.
Yep.
I think he'd like to do his final swan song in Abu Dhabi again, but hey, in all fairness, we don't know what will happen. Racing is racing. We might see Vettel win.
Yeah.
Probably not, but we might.
It's all. This year has been really very surprising, where we had like 12 drivers on podium, so you never know. But again, the thing with Bahrain circuit is you could see Ferraris weren't able to cope up, because it's a very power hungry circuit. And with the next race, which is again in Bahrain, but the outer circuit, I've seen that circuit which is floating around. It's pretty much dead straights. It's like an oval, where they are just going to go, like, it's going to be the fastest circuit ever.
An oval, you say? Okay.
Kind of like oval, yeah. But
let's hope it's not like Indianapolis in 2005, where we saw tires blow up all the time.
No, it's not that. But again, coming to Pirelli also, like, their tires were really not working. Like, the teams were really confused between the mediums, the hards, or the softs. Softs were actually not working for anyone, but mediums and hards were also, they just weren't able to get it onto the track, the race track. So I don't know, even Pirelli needs to figure something with their tires for next season to make the racing interesting. Next, we jump to Renault.
Renault. Let's go
you want to do Alpha? Go ahead.
Let's talk about McLaren first, actually.
Okay.
Because you've noted down here that they drove the wheels of both Sainz and Norris.
Yeah.
And we know why they did that, because they secured 3rd place in the Constructors' Championship.
Yes.
Both of them did a phenomenal job.
Yeah. I mean, Racing Point still has a chance, but right now McLaren just took the edge, with both of them just failing to finish any points in any point scoring position. Racing Point.
If we look at the historical data, it looks as if Racing Point probably won't get it. I could be wrong, because again, racing is racing, anything can happen.
And it's 2020.
That's a good point. It is 2020. This is the year of endless possibilities.
Do not forget. So, yeah, let's now jump to Renault. And again, Renault had some tension going on between their 2 drivers, Ricciardo and Ocon, where Ocon was told to let Ricciardo through. And then Ocon, this was in the mid-race when we were on lap 30, I don't know the exact laps, but it's the mid-race where they went for their 2nd stop. Ocon came out on the hards. He was flying, he did an undercut on Ricciardo, but then Ricciardo comes back and again he's behind him, and then they had a pretty ugly battle, So, but on an average it was, I think they finished still like 7th and 8th. It was 7th and 8th, right? Yeah.
7th and 9th.
7th and 9th, yeah. So it's still not bad for them, but they were also in the P3 contention for the constructors title, but I think now it's gone.
Have to try again next year.
Yeah.
Let's talk about AlphaTauri. Obviously, the biggest talking point is Danny Kvyat being involved in that accident.
True.
But So 2, in all fairness, from what I saw from the first one, it's a racing incident. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Luckily for him, he wasn't taken off into the barrier.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he didn't really have a great race. He finishes outside the top 10.
Top 10, yeah. So, and for Gasly also, it wasn't really a very competitive race by any standard. It's just that because he was hanging in there, and the race actually finished on safety car. So last 3-4 laps were all on safety car, and Ricciardo was actually catching him because his tires were pretty much gone, his mediums. But because of the safety car, he just won and kept that position. So for him, yeah, he just managed to have those points with him. So next is Williams. Okay, not Alpha, Williams.
I don't know what to talk about Williams. They just circulate and that's it.
I mean,
seem to be doing
again,
much.
to be honest, there was Russell at one point was P8, and then I was like maybe yes, but then I'm like they still have to stop.
Dropped out. Then Latifi's also in the top 15 by the looks of it.
He is in top 15, but Latifi, I still don't manage to understand, because we never miss him on the grid or where he is. You never know, like, what's he doing with his car or what position is he.
And that leads us to our last team, Alfa Romeo.
Yep, again, pretty forgettable performance for them also.
I was going to say, looking at the list here, I don't even see
Giovinazzi
or Raikkonen even finishing the race.
Yeah, it's 15 and 16.
So they finished the race, but they're quite low down the order.
Again, Ferrari powered cars. So all Ferrari, and even Magnussen. Haas is one more team. But yeah, for Haas, I think it's a day that they can take a break. I mean, for Magnussen, it must have been something to be in that car, driving that same car, and then, thinking about Grosjean after that.
I could imagine so. I think that will be running through his head. Is Grosjean okay? Of course, the team would have relayed the information saying Grosjean is fine.
Yep.
But I think what maybe was also running through Kevin's mind is the car itself, because what force can cut through essentially carbon fiber like that?
Yeah.
That was a massive impact, and
what
these cars
that was.
And carbon fiber is very, very tough and durable material.
Yeah.
But as we said before, if you look at the pictures, they're on screen now, that is sheared in half, and that's not, someone hasn't cut that in half deliberately.
It's the force.
It's, again, incredible job by the team. They've built a bucket that essentially saved Grosjean's life.
Yeah.
And it's great to know that Grosjean is safe. He is doing well. So that's the most important thing. But we know that Haas built one. But at the same time, Magnussen is obviously, he might not have seen it, but he's obviously aware of the damage, because he would have seen the sort of what's going on the track. He would have seen his teammate's car
up in flames.
Exactly. And almost half of it hanging on one side, the other half hanging somewhere else.
Yeah.
He's looking at his teammate's car going, uh-oh, that could happen to me.
Yeah.
I hope my thing is sturdy enough for this. So obviously, I don't think, I may be just, thinking out of the box here, but I can imagine from Kevin's point of view, he's thinking in his head, I want to be safe.
It's psychologically draining for sure. And by the way, even the halo played a part in saving Grosjean's life, because he went straight into the barriers, and the halo actually took the hit.
The halo may look ugly, but it's there to save lives, and it's only just proved itself. I mean, it's proved, I don't mean it like that, it's proved itself before, but this is further confirmation that these systems or these safety features are there for a reason, and they do save and protect lives.
Yeah, for sure, halo is now the utmost important thing in the car, and I am not even going to complain ever about how the car looks ugly because of that. But anyways, I think we've covered pretty much the entire race, and the next race again is in Bahrain, which is the outer circuit, which is going to be the fastest, and we have like 3 back-to-back races, so it is going to be really interesting with the season ender in Abu Dhabi.
Of course. And as we said before, we hope and we spread our love and whatever to Romain Grosjean for a speedy recovery, and we hope he gets well soon.
We hope to, I don't know if we'll ever get to see him again racing, because we have only 2 races, which is in back-to-back 2 weeks, within 2 weeks. And from what I've heard is he's also got some rib injury, fractured ribs and stuff, and also burned, legs and hands. But anyways, if he doesn't race, whatever, but he's proved himself, and he's walked out of that, and he was a hero for today's race for sure.
100%.
Anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, then you can click here, and if you want to watch more videos, then click here. Me and Chris shall see you in the next video. Bye bye and take care.